Greg Larnard here, ESPN Chattanooga. We're hanging out at McKenzie Arena, and now we're hanging out with Karsen Murphy, a junior forward for UTC. You are originally from Montana. I thought this was really interesting because I've never been to Montana. So tell me a little bit about why you chose UTC. Why did you come here from Montana?
So I played my first year of college basketball at the University of Montana, which was still about like 8 hours from my hometown, so it was still pretty far from home. But after my first year there, I did enter the transfer portal, and I just wanted to go somewhere really far from home and just experience something new. So Chattanooga reached out to me in the portal, and after a couple conversations, I didn't even tour the place or anything.
Really?
I just had a really good feeling about it, yeah, and I just came down here, didn't know anyone, anything, and just wanted to try something new, experience something new.
Very cool. Now, when it comes to the differences between Montana and Chattanooga, as I mentioned, I've never been to Montana. I've been here for about 2.5 years now. So tell me the biggest difference that you've found in, being from Montana and coming here.
Definitely the size. This town I grew up in, there's about 5,000 people, and my graduation class in high school was like 70. And then
Wow.
coming here, this
70.
is like, yeah, so it was pretty small. And then coming here was like, I don't even know how many times bigger it may be, but if you look at our biggest city in Montana, which is Billings, Chattanooga is about twice the size of that. So I think just how big it was, and I knew that was something I always wanted to experience too. So like it was a huge jump for me, but I mean I've enjoyed it so much. And
What do you like? You're talking about how much you enjoy here in Chattanooga. What do you like most? I mean, obviously the bridges are cool, the river. There's some really good spots to eat. There's the downtown area. You got the nature that's not too far away. What's your favorite thing so far about being in Chattanooga?
I think you really hit all the amazing points. I mean,
I'm
the
sorry, I took
food,
the answer from
the
you.
food is awesome.
Yeah.
Like there's always somewhere to eat, but honestly, as cheesy as this might sound, the people are really awesome down here. Like I've had all good experiences with everyone I've met, every single teammate of mine I love, and every single year we get new people, and it just always feels like family, always feels like home. When I go home and visit Montana and I have to leave, like I'm not sad to come down here because I just love the atmosphere and everything I get to be a part of.
Now, this is going to be your second year, obviously, second year at with Coach Poppie. Tell me a little bit about what's it been like to play for him?
Yeah, no, last year was a really big growing season for me. I think one thing Poppy really focuses on is giving us adversity. And, growing up, I was like, oh, I can handle adversity, like nothing like that, But I think college basketball, college athletics is just a whole new world to handling adversity. And I think that's something that Poppy has done really well with me, is just giving me opportunity to I don't even know how to explain it so much, but opportunity to learn that there's just so much more than just playing on the court. Like last year, like you mentioned, I did not play a lot, and so that made me develop a new role of being the best teammate I can be on the sidelines and the best teammate I can be in practice, playing defense on the starters. And I think that's just something that he's really helped instill in me, is just learning how to handle adversity.
Yeah, and grow and develop and things like that, and working while you wait for an opportunity
Exactly.
to get a chance to play. Now, you are going to be looking for more playing time this year. What did you work on in the offseason to try to get yourself in a better position to handle that adversity and get on the court a little bit more?
Yeah, so last year was really frustrating for me because I put the time in, I put a lot of workouts in, and I worked hard, but it wasn't carrying over onto the court, and a lot of that was because I mentally wasn't there. Every time I got on the court, I felt like I had to do everything. I felt like I had to score to stay in. I felt like I had to get steals. I felt like I had to not foul all the time. Like it was just constantly in my brain. I'd go in and instead of like just focusing on playing and doing what I'm good at, I wanted to do everything.
Yeah.
And I think it got to a point where I psyched myself out before every single game. I was like, well, probably not going to do this game either, or like. It was just a really bad repetitive pattern of not mentally being prepared for a game. I overthought everything. I wanted to be a perfectionist, and that's just something that isn't reality. And so this summer, as I did continue putting reps in and time in and workouts, I focused more on not thinking so much and just clearing my head and just going into a game being confident that I have the skill set to play. I just have to allow myself to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to kind of approach things. Now, let's kind of rewind back to last year a little bit. What was it like being a part of a team that won the SoCon Tournament, and getting a chance to experience that and sort of the jubilation of that moment as a team?
Yeah, thinking back to that moment we won, I don't think it really hit me until like 2 or 3 days after, when you get back to Chattanooga and you just see all the love coming in on social media in the town. I walked into a class like 2 days after we won and everyone's like, yeah, champ, woohoo. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's just crazy. But man, if you just think back to like everything we went through that whole season, it was a super up and down season, and how hard we worked, and just to see it all pay off in that moment is like, there's nothing I can even say to describe that feeling. Like, it's just insane, you know, no matter where you are on the bench, on the court, you know, you're a part of every single practice, you're a part of every single hard time you face in that season. So I think just seeing it all come together, especially the team we played, and if you look back, we like 20-pieced us twice that season, you know, like it's just, hard work really does pay off, and I think it really showed in that moment.
Yeah, it certainly does. And now the last one for you, Karsen, is if you were talking to a group of young basketball players right now, give me one piece of advice that you would give them.
Don't strive to be perfect. And I know I mentioned that earlier in the talk, that I always strive for perfection. It's not possible. It's not reality. Now you can have perfect intent, which is something Poppie does talk about with us a lot, which is just you always come in with wanting to work hard and being the best teammate you can be. So yeah, my advice to you is just don't strive to be perfect. Just strive to work hard, be a good teammate, and show up every single day to better yourself and your team.
Love that. Karsen Murphy, again, has been our guest. She's a junior forward for the UTC Mocs. Hopefully she'll be out on this court a little bit more this coming season. Karsen, thanks so much. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
I'm Greg Launard, ESPN Chattanooga.